A few days ago, I made a video on a similar topic, being the one that I put out about upcoming free agents fumbling the bag this season, losing out on bigger contract offers that they were likely expecting this summer, but due to their play on the court this year, lost out on those chances. But on the flip side, there are also quite a few upcoming free agents that did the exact opposite of that, which brings us to the topic of today's video. Today, we'll be discussing the 5 impending free agents that I believe earned themselves much bigger contract offers than most would have expected them to get at the beginning of the season, because they emerged in a big way this year and proved to be much more impactful than anticipated, thus playing their way into bigger paydays. Before we start though, I want to thank PrizePicks for sponsoring today's video. PrizePicks is a skill-based, real-money daily fantasy sports game where you select 2 to 6 players and guess if they will hit more or less than their projection, and if you get it right, you can win. Plus, with their new Demons and Goblins lines, you can win up to 100 times your original lineup. Obviously, we're all basketball fans here, but PrizePicks has almost every sport you can think of available to choose from and play. To add to the fun, they also offer frequent bonuses, discounts, and weekly promotions such as Taco Tuesday and Flex Friday, plus so many more specialty free spaces to watch for throughout the year, so you don't want to miss those. For the upcoming slate of games, I'm going with Anthony Edwards to score over 27.5 points, Kyrie Irving to dish out over 5 assists, and Andrew Nembhard to make at least 1 3 in this week's lineup. To sign up, go down to the link in the description and use promo code REFERENCE when you sign up to get a deposit match bonus of up to $100. Once again, thank you to PrizePicks for sponsoring the video. Now let's get back to the topic at hand. The first upcoming free agent we'll be discussing today that earned themselves a big payday this summer with their play this season is Isaiah Hartenstein. Hartenstein had been a bit of a journeyman to start his NBA career because at the time he was still quite raw and needed time to develop and mature as a defense-first rim-protecting center that was still adjusting to the pace of the league and the physicality of the league, and the skill that was also needed on both ends to survive. He spent time with the Rockets, Nuggets, Cavaliers, and Clippers before being brought into the Knicks to back up Mitchell Robinson, and due to injuries to Mitchell Robinson throughout his time there, he was presented with an opportunity to claim the starting center spot, and once he took it, he never looked back. Hartenstein has been such an important cog in the Knicks' dominant defense this season. Offensively, he's a very efficient finisher around the basket with a useful floater that he uses to convert on several occasions, and he's shown excellent passing instincts for a center in the high post as well, allowing for the Knicks to run plenty of action through him, finding their active cutters off the ball. The Knicks would absolutely love to re-sign Hartenstein, but can only offer him a contract worth about $16 million per year, which is still a big jump from the $9 million he was making before, but realistically, centers with his skill set are more important than ever in the NBA, and I could see him fetching a few offers worth $20 million per year or more on the open market, so he will definitely be one free agent getting a ton of attention. The next impending free agent that earned themselves a big payday this season is Malik Monk. Monk is another player whose career started fairly rocky after being a lottery pick selected by the Charlotte Hornets with the expectations of being a dynamic sharpshooter, but it took a while for him to find his footing. He finally started finding it in his last year in Charlotte, then he emerged in a big way the next year in one season with the Lakers, then spent the last 2 years in Sacramento, where he is now coming off of a runner-up finish in the 6th Man of the Year race, which is an award he likely would have won if he hadn't gotten injured at the end of the season. Monk is now much more than just a shooter, serving as a secondary ball handler and playmaker in Sacramento, building good chemistry with former Kentucky teammate De'Aaron Fox. He averaged a career-high 15 points and dished out a career-high 5 assists per game this season, and after signing lower prove-it deals in each of the last 2 times he had hit the open market as a free agent, he now seems poised to fetch some bigger offers in the range of potentially $100 million total. That's unfortunately outside of what the Kings can afford, and based on the way the Kings players have spoken about his future, they seem to know that he's going to get bigger offers elsewhere, which is unfortunate for them, but obviously beneficial to Monk. The next impending free agent that earned himself a major payday this offseason is Isaiah Joe. Isaiah Joe was a second-round draft pick by the 76ers who could never get consistent playing time under Doc Rivers there, and because of that, he was cut after training camp back in 2022. He then signed with the Oklahoma City Thunder on a minimum deal for 3 seasons. Little did they know, they just found a diamond in the rough that would blossom into one of their most valuable bench pieces that would even start a few potential important playoff games for them. Joe's best and most obvious skill set from the very beginning has always been his three-point shooting. He has a smooth stroke, a quick shot, and is comfortable knocking down shots from way behind the line. The Thunder instilled a level of trust in him from the beginning that he never got in Philadelphia and instantly reaped the rewards from it, with some of their most effective lineups always featuring Joe on the court, because his ability to space the floor and punish defenses for sagging off of him was crucial to their rise. He takes about 5 threes per game, and last season he knocked down 41% of his shots from deep, and this season that increased to about 42% from 3, which is amongst the league's leaders in that span. Joe isn't a normal free agent like the others on this list though, as the Thunder have a team option to retain him for just $2 million next year, but in doing so, Joe would then become an unrestricted free agent in 2025. Their best option, in my opinion, is to pay him a much heftier contract extension this summer, ensuring the fact that they get him locked up moving forward, especially with how much cap space they've got at the moment to use. The next upcoming free agent that earned themselves a big pay raise this summer is Derrick Jones Jr. Derrick Jones Jr. is another player in his mid-20s that has already bounced around the league a ton, playing on the Suns, Heat, Trailblazers, and Bulls before signing with Dallas this season. He's one of the most athletic players in the entire league, who soars high above the rim on dunks, but as a basketball player, he was definitely very raw early on, and as a result of it, was not ready to be playing important minutes for contending teams. His jumper was a long way away from being reliable for most of his career. He's never been a shot creator generating his own offense, and defensively, he was still figuring out how to put his impressive physical tools to use. But this season in Dallas, things finally started to click for him, and he's now one of the players most trusted in the Mavericks rotation alongside Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. His three-point shooting is much closer to league average now, his versatile defense is tremendous, he moves well without the ball, and most importantly, he stays in his lane and knows his role without trying to do too much. He's currently playing on a minimum contract, paying him $2 million this season, but I can assure you, when he hits the open market this summer, he will be receiving offers much larger. And finally, the last upcoming free agent that earned himself a big payday with his play this season is Simone Fontecchio. Fontecchio may not be a household name, but the Italian talent came to the NBA last season signing with the Jazz, and this year, he very quietly established himself as one of the best 3-and-D wing players in the entire NBA. On the year as a whole, he averaged about 11 points per game, but he was traded to the Pistons at the trade deadline and broke out even further, averaging 15 points per game there, while also shooting 46% from the field and 40% from 3. He's a 6'8" wing player that defends well, knocks down threes at a 40% clip, and doesn't need to dominate the ball to be effective. He's pretty much every coach's dream when it comes to a role player to balance out a lineup, and for a Detroit Pistons team without much going their way, they should prioritize locking Fontecchio down long term. Luckily for them, he is a restricted free agent, which means they can match any offer that he is given elsewhere in order to retain him. It's just going to cost them a little bit more to do so. And with that being said, that's all I have for you today. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below what kind of offers you think these players will get. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.